What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy Travis Wofford coming at you with another Chopping It Up with the Woffords. This is my Tuesday edition. I'm a little late. I had a lot going on. Actually, to be completely honest and transparent, I'm a lot late. I was supposed to do this last week, was my Tuesday, to do my live, but life was lifing, and I said I would just do it this week. And plus, this week I had a lot more to talk about. I don't know if y'all know, last weekend my daughter graduated. Well, our daughter, I'm sorry. Our daughter graduated from Duke University, even though I'm a Carolina fan. Our daughter graduated from Duke University with her family nurse practitioner, her master's. And that was amazing. Last week I drove from Philly. We had a lot going on. But to make a real long story short, I did not do my live. And I actually felt bad. I felt like I was cheating. And I technically was cheating. I was cheating myself. This was a commitment I made to myself, a commitment that I made and said I was going to do every other Tuesday. And the live tapings is another commitment, but I got a valid reason. I got stuff I'm doing. I'm handling the business side of that first. But the live, I'm not going to make any for myself to not do that live. Y'all forgive me for the Wi-Fi. It's trying to disconnect from my house. Okay, back to it. Now I reconnected. It was still connected to my Wi-Fi. But yeah, I have no reason, and I'm not going to make any excuses for myself for not showing up and doing what I said I was going to do. It's like a job. I remember talking to a barber where he was talking to another man, and I was listening, and he was saying how when you work for somebody else, you have deadlines, you have, a time to be at work, you have consequences when disciplinary actions when you don't reach a quota or whatever you're supposed to do. So you have to hold yourself to those standards when you work for yourself. Because anytime you want to start a business or do something, ooh, that one gray hat is wild looking. Anytime, ooh, I'm getting my wife to pull that one. Pull that out. Anytime you work for yourself and you want to, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to walk in your purpose, anything like that, you still have to show up. You still have to do stuff. And I'm not going to hold myself to any different standards. Life do be lifing, and I ain't going to lie, some days is better than others. A lot of it, even though it was a happy weekend, a joyous weekend, it was also a somber weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend. I talk a lot about grief and mourning, and anybody who's lost a parent, mother, dad, father, anything like that, during the holidays, those holidays remind you of that. So it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to bring everybody around you down, but sometimes you just don't feel like celebrating that. Sometimes it's just hard to really be in that moment, and you could be a mother or father yourself, and that's your day, but you still missing your mother or father. So grief will set in, and sometimes grief will consume us. And I'm never going to tell nobody how long to grieve. I'm never going to tell nobody how long to grieve. Grieve as long as you need to. But you definitely need to find a way to let it out. Or you definitely need to find a way to cope with it. Because I ain't going to say get over it. I hate when people say just get over it. You can never really get over something like that. You can learn to live with it. You can learn to manage it. You can learn to not let every day be a bad day. But you never get over it. And if you never lost a parent, you can't really coach nobody through that. You can't talk to nobody about what they do. You can't, even if you did lose a parent, just because you did it that way, don't mean the other person is going to handle it that way. Hey, T, don't mean the other person going to handle it that way. Everybody's different. So you can't really, and it depends on your relationship with your parent. I mean, it's just so many different factors and variables that go into that. You can't really tell nobody what to do. So I never tell nobody, oh, you should be over this by now. No, our mama died in 2017. It's almost 10 years, and I still have my moments. I may not break down crying, but I may have a sad moment. Or even if I do break down and cry, that's my business, you know what I'm saying? But you never had that time. So, like I said, last week was like it's not a bad week, but it was just a lot. But I was determined I was not going to miss 2 weeks in a row. And also, I was determined that I still was going to show up. But, excuse me, my bad. It's just sometimes life be throwing stuff at you, see how bad you want it. Even like now, I wanted to do it. I completely forgot. Once again, I was working for somebody else, and I forgot that it was time for me to do my live. My connection in my neighborhood, y'all, is terrible. I forgot it was time for me to do my live until I seen my phone was in do not disturb. And I'm like, why is my phone do not disturb? And I realized what day it was. It was Tuesday, which is the day to do my live. So I'm like, oh, snap. So I had to do, finish up what I was doing because I was determined I was going to do it. But some said, you can skip it because I plan to do a live on Thursday, a special one. But I'll let you know more about that later, Thursday evening. But when I say later, I mean like tomorrow because this is later. It's real close to Thursday. But some said I just skip it and wait to do it Thursday. But some said no, you do two. You know what I'm saying? You do one a day. And if you're going to do another one Thursday, do another one Thursday. So that's exactly what I was going to do. I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to do another one Thursday. But this one is really going to be quick because like I said, I really just had to come on just to, it's kind of like you got to show up. It's like when they say go to the gym, and I don't care if you just go and walk in, and if you don't do nothing else, but you showed up. Because more than likely you go through the gym, you go through them doors, you're going to do something. You're going to get on a treadmill, you're going to walk, you're going to pick up a weight, you're going to do something. It's the same thing when you do get on here doing this live. I had to get on this live so I can say I held myself accountable, and I did it. I don't care if I'm on here 5 minutes or if I'm on here 55 minutes. I'm going to show up because this is something that I want to do. Like my wife said, if you want to do it bad enough, then ain't nobody stopping you but yourself. This ain't costing me nothing. I pay my own cell phone bill, so, it's not costing, it's no overhead. So it's just me getting on here, taking my time to do something that I want to do because there's so many different levels that I want to do and be able to help different people. And, just to be there for people in different situations, different scenarios. I had a guy tell me the other day, he appreciate me doing it live. Sometimes it helps him get through stuff. I needed that because, to be honest, a lot of times people don't comment. A lot of times people don't share it, in which I'm going to do it regardless, but it still feels better to know that it's being received for what it's supposed to be. Now, if you don't like it, that's fine. Keep moving. Just keep scrolling. You ain't got to stop. You know what I'm saying? But if this is for you and it resonates some of your spirit, you can like it, you can share it, you can comment, or you ain't got to say nothing. You can keep it to yourself. Choice is yours. Everybody on here should be grown. I think everybody on my page is grown, except for maybe a few, my nieces and stuff. But all in all, that's what I do it for. And I do it for myself as a type of therapy. When I'm going through something, like I said, last week, was kind of rough. And I'm still, through it all, entrepreneurship and family and life, still be life. I still have my days. Some days I just, just feel like you just got something and you can't shake it. You got to make something happen. You want to do so much, but then some days it's just not your season. It's not your season. And when I say not your season, not that you lacking, but it's not your season. Maybe not be your season to elevate. You need to stand still. You need to learn patience. You need to learn how to sit in the space. You need to learn how to be patient. You need to learn how to work what you have. We always want more, but we got to be, sometimes it may be time that you need to learn to work what you have instead of wanting to do more. You know what I'm saying? But we still, it's something in us that wants to elevate, every year, every day. Well, you're supposed to be doing something that better yourself every day, but you may not elevate right away. It may be you building the steps at the time, but you ain't climbing them yet. You listen to that again. You may be building the steps, but it ain't time for you to climb them yet. We want to build them and climb. We want to build one, go up, build one, go up. Maybe you building them, but it ain't time for you to climb them. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you're building towards something, you got the steps, and sooner or later, you'll be able to take them. If that makes sense, I hope it does. And like I said, I just had to come on here. I had to do it. I had to hold myself accountable. I had to be disciplined enough and determined enough and consistent enough. You know what I'm saying? Determination, dedication, discipline, consistency, perseverance, resilience, all those are qualities and even more that you have to have in this life. Patience. And sometimes patience is a virtue, but sometimes you got to know when to move, and it's a lot going on around me. I'm not going to hold y'all, but I have been praying. And that's one thing I feel like this season has done for me. It has strengthened my faith. It has made me pray more, has made me and my wife pray more. You know what I'm saying? We're fasting. that's something that I've done before, but I've done it more so for health reasons or, something like that. But this right now, I'm doing it for just to get deeper connection with God. Not church or religion, but I want a more spiritual connection with God. So that's where I'm working on now. So I feel like, I don't know if that's what this season has got going on for me, but it definitely is something. So I'm trying to make sure I need to take in that space and listen. I really need to start listening more. And a lot of stuff my wife be saying makes sense too. I need to get up early enough to get up and take time to be in the space myself and meditate so I can listen. I heard somebody say the other day, I know who said it. Kit Craven said it. He said, when you pray, you talking to God, but meditation is when you listening to God. I may have messed it up, Kit. Please let me know if I did. But that resonated in my spirit when you said it the other week. Praying is when you're talking to God. When you meditate is when God's talking back. When you're listening for him to talk back. And that's what I still need to start doing. Taking that time in the morning to myself before the world start asking me for something. Everybody needs something, work, whatever, and just listen to God. So my wife has been saying that to me for a long time. You know how it is. You want to lay there and get that few more minutes of sleep. But that few more minutes may be more valuable to take that time to meditate. So, in the words of my daughter, yeah, that's a jewel right there. But other than that, I hope everybody had a happy Mother's Day. If you had a child to graduate, congratulations. If your mother's passed, condolences. I know it's rough. Trust me, I'm there with you. But yeah, we were so happy, so proud of, I'm gonna call it Shaquandra. I call it Tater. So happy and proud of Tater for graduating from Duke with her master's. She got her bachelor's from Fayetteville State 7 years ago, and she just received her master's, and all doing that while holding a full-time job, being a full-time parent, being a full-time wife. She wear a lot of hats, but she never made excuses. She never said she couldn't do it. She drove from Virginia to North Carolina every week, sometimes staying 3 and 4 days, then driving home, or staying 2 days, driving home. She did it every week. Drove to Durham from Virginia, drove here, then drove to Durham, to Clinton. She didn't make no excuses. She could have said, I ain't put that many miles on my car. I'm not spending that money in gas. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But she didn't make not one excuse. She said she wanted what she wanted, and she did it. So I'm proud of you, Taylor, baby. I'm proud of you for that. That was my neighbor, y'all. I was waving. I'm proud of you for that. And I feel like you're going to go further. So I will be right there with you, push you, helping you out, any way we can. And, just be there to celebrate your wins. And not only celebrate your wins, but to help you get to your wins. Everybody want to be there for the celebration, but how many was there during the game? It's like Kobe said, was you with me when I was shooting in the gym? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be with people when they're going through it if you want to be there for the celebration. But anyway, y'all, so that's my spiel. Once again, like my wife say, share the video, comment on the video, send me stars. It's gonna help me do more content. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to the point where this is what I do. Not just on live, but in so many different avenues. I'm not gonna tell everybody what my plan is, because everybody ain't always praying for you. Just remember that. Everybody ain't always praying for you. He is going too fast to be in his driveway. And so I ain't gonna tell nobody. So I'm not gonna speak on all my plans, but yeah, I hope I can just make this my full time. Not just this way, but a lot of different ways. But yeah, so I just wanted to come to y'all tonight, do my live as I was supposed to. Y'all be easy, y'all be safe. Share this out. Hey, Aunt Lena, share the video, reshare the video. You got me on the end, Aunt Lena. I'm about to hang up, so share the video. Go to the YouTube page. Go to Chopping Up the Waffles. These videos now will be uploaded to YouTube, So if you don't see it, I forgot to say that. If you don't see it in person, if you don't see the live, you can replay it on Facebook, but it's also going to be on YouTube. I will upload it on YouTube after the live. I'll wait like a day or two to let the replay show, but then it'll be on my YouTube page at Chopping Up the Waffles. So yeah, Chopping Up the Waffles. It's about to be a movement. Y'all be easy, y'all be safe.